let's play a little game to see how well you know your sounds. I'm going to play 3 of them, and you tell me within 3 seconds if you can immediately identify what brand or sport that sound is from. Starting with number 1. It's Augusta, the Masters, the biggest golf tournament in the world, bar none. What about this? My basketball fans probably know this is the NBA on TNT. And finally, I would argue probably the biggest one in existence. Time to grab the beer, grab the chips. It's Sunday night. It is football time. Musical themes are iconic and a staple for sports. It lets you know without even being in the room what is happening. Now, esports is slightly different. We don't really have these things. We have the LCS theme, we have an LEC thing, but for like the biggest tournaments in the world, like Worlds, like MSI, we have always traditionally gotten our own song. And one, they're a great piece of reaction content. You look on my YouTube channel, almost everything that has to do with the World songs is pretty much up there. The MSI videos typically get about half of that, but there's still an important note for myself and for many that the tournament is about to begin. And we are literally 2 days away, or probably like a day and a half by the time that you're seeing this video, from MSI starting. And we have not seen the song anywhere. There's this whole nocturne theme of Become the Unknown. It's really weird if I'm being completely honest with you, but we finally got a statement from Riot Games through .esports. A massive thanks to Cecilia who sent this to me. She writes for .esports. She was also on my reaction video to Gods. We watched it together and she's amazing. Her articles are great, but she got a statement from Riot Games directly saying that they are no longer making MSI anthems, which, look, before I even read this, I'm not upset by that fully, because I don't think that MSI themes have ever fully captured what we want to see from these anthems. They do dip into more of the local culture. Last year was in Europe and we had more of a UK drill song, but it doesn't really feel like it captures the moment of MSI, or at least like the highlights of MSI. I still think the best song, hands down, bar none, is Bring Home the Glory, Sarah Skinner, the 2019 version. It's incredible, and honestly I wouldn't mind if that became the staple forever, but it doesn't feel like that's the way we're going. So let's read through this. Since 2019, the League of Legends Mid-Season Invitational has wanted its own anthem. Yep, this will be the 5th song released. I don't think many people can name the MSI songs unlike the World's anthems, which does go to this point, so it is entirely fair. But fans will have to wait until the World Championship this year to add to their playlist. In a statement provided to .esports, Riot Games confirmed today that that a custom anthem for MSI won't be released this year. Instead, Riot is focused on delivering a thrilling broadcast experience for fans worldwide, which is no different at all than what their goal is every single year with this anyways. The song has that, like, it really has nothing. Oh, whatever. The past MSI anthems have averaged about 2 million views on YouTube and an average of 14 million listens on Spotify, but those are meager numbers. Yes, they are dwarfed compared to Worlds. Worlds brings in some of the biggest artists. It's this massive moment. MSI was never really, it just goes to show how like smaller and how much less relevant this tournament was historically compared to Worlds. Part of the branding. And then they talk about the skin line. So let's talk about the skin line. I had a feeling this was coming. I didn't put a tweet out on it earlier because I didn't want to beat it over the head until we got confirmation, given that we're only 2 days away from the tournament. But it felt like, I don't know if the plan was always to not have a MSI song. Assuming it was, assuming that is the correct thing and things just didn't fall through. There is a clear push to focus on selling the skin. Like they can say this tournament and that the opening ceremony this year is going to focus more on the players. The song doesn't necessarily, you can have a song without steering away from the player narrative, but everything you've done in terms of marketing leading up to this event is not on the players. It is about the skin line. Become the unknown? What kind of tagline is that for an international event? The whole point is to become known, to become a staples, to start the golden road. That's the entire intention of this tournament, of this event. It is the first international event. It is the arguably best format that we see of any tournament in League of Legends esports. The tagline makes no sense. The font is really, I'm sorry, but it's really difficult to read given the skin line. Like, they clearly tried to go with the Ink Shadow skin line, which is Ink Shadow? Jesus, I'm not even saying it right. They're trying to go with the Empyrean skin line in an effort to sell this Nocturne skin, which does go into the revenue that they would generate for the tournament. Sure, they're trying to market it, trying to make this team more money, but the proposed revenue changes that would come to the league where teams would get more of a cut and this would go to the global revenue pool has not been agreed to yet. It was a proposal from John Needham. It is not what is actually happening in LoL esports right now. While this directly contributes to the prize pool of the event, or at least just the Nocturne skin does, no other skin, when I buy my Ultimate Varus skin that I'm really excited for and have been waiting for, that has nothing to do with MSI or going to the esports players in any capacity. That is purely going to Riot, despite the fact that you are marketing this entire event to be a promotion for that skin line, and you're only contributing one single skin to that prize pool, to the esports monetary base. Like, what is this? So let's be clear. You took away the song, which I don't mind if you announce that, like, Bring Home the Glory is going to be like the permanent song for MSI, or give us like a permanent song, a permanent theme, something like that. Give us something that each and every year we know MSI is going to be coming because of this. But as of right now, the only thing that we know MSI is coming for is because there's going to be a skin line attached to it that is completely irrelevant to the tournament itself in a way to possibly generate money for the prize pool. And I know what some of the counter arguments are going to be, because I can already hear Monte Cristo in my head. I can already hear others saying, oh, well, we don't need the song to do all this. This is good. We could possibly be shifting focus towards the players. And Riot will say the same thing as like, oh, people complain for the longest time, like, we want to see more focus on the players. Even after we got the LCK finals, which notably did solely focus on the players and the storyline, and everybody was excited about it, and so was I. We're not saying that you need to have this live performance of these songs to be a means of making them. I doubt the live performance really does all that much for Spotify streams of the song or anything else. It was just a cool way to commemorate the tournament. It was for casual fans, for those of us that, yes, we still want to see the storylines about the players, but we also want to have this hype event that feels larger than just the community of people that already know about it. We can pass along a song and be like, hey, this song's really cool. Check out LoL Esports. Like, it's small things like this that establish like a culture behind the event that just feels like it's going away. What it feels like now, if I'm being completely honest, is that despite MSI being a better event format-wise than Worlds, it is just a way to sell a skin line, which I know is, there's certain people saying, oh, that's the entire point of esports as a whole. Sure, but then we should be getting more of a kickback of that revenue. It should not just be this Nocturne skin. If you're going to use us to sell skins, give us part of that money to help fund the esport. If we really are a marketing tool, that's fine. Pay for everything then. Don't cut budgets. Don't cut staff. Don't downsize all the things that you're trying to downsize. If we truly are that good of a skin seller, give us the tools that we need to keep going, because the messaging is mismanaged. If you're downsizing, that means that you're trying to make us a standalone profitable entity. But if we're trying to become a standalone profitable entity, we need revenue, we need ways to generate revenue. And if you're cutting out things like the song and everything else, what are you doing to help us towards that objective? Like, your priorities here seem to be mismatched, more publicly so than ever. Anyways, that's it. I don't really want to go on anymore about this. It's just annoying that we had to wait until literally 2 days prior and you just let angst and like emotion start to build on this type of stuff rather than just putting out a statement. Like, Dot and Cecilia had to literally go in and get a statement from Riot in order for us to know about this. Like, say something, talk to us. It's not hard. It's really freaking not.